What's up, guys? This is Ray and welcome to Asia Filmist, and I have a review of a thriller for you guys today, and that is the South Korean movie from 2013, Hide and Seek. Hide and Seek is directed by Huh Jung and stars Son Hyun-Joo and Jun-Mi-sun. The story of Hide and Seek, it's about this cafe owner by the name of Sung-soo, and he's successful. He's pretty well off with his wife and his two kids, and they live in a very nice apartment. However, Sung-soo has this dark past in the sense that he has this estranged older brother, but Sung-soo never talks about his brother, even to his own family. But one day he decides to check in on his brother and visit his apartment complex. And upon visiting this apartment complex, well, first of all, it's like in this very sketchy neighborhood with a bunch of poor people, or even maybe some homeless people living in some of the abandoned rooms. But he goes on and tries to check on his brother, but he can't exactly find the location of his brother. Instead, he hears from several of the tenants that his brother just peeps in on them or stalks them, and these tenants request Sung-soo to stop his brother from stalking them. And then soon enough, it seems like the stalking follows Sung-soo home, and in that, well, first of all, outside the doors of each of the tenants or each of the rooms in this apartment building, there are all these codes that kind of describe who exactly is living in there, whether it's a single guy, a family, etc. And then Sung-soo soon sees the same marks being scribbled outside all the doors of his own apartment building. Ooh, it has the makings of a pretty good suspense thriller, and it definitely does. And as far as the positives are concerned, you know, all of that, and it combines elements of not only murder mystery but also the slasher film genre, and I think it blends everything pretty well together. And as with any good slasher film, there are plenty of moments that'll have you saying, "Whoa, why would you do that?" or "Run, hurry up," or "No, don't go there, don't go there." You know, I think if the more moments that make you say those kinds of things, the better the slasher film, you know, as opposed to the moments that make you say, "Oh man, that was such a stupid decision." There aren't that many of those in this story, and I think that works out for this kind of this genre. And I love the way the mysteries are set up for the story and the path that everything takes you down. You know, even the bad guy, he's constantly shown wearing a motorcycle helmet in big motorcycle gear, so you don't exactly see the culprit's face for the majority of the story, and he just kind of stands there in the open. He doesn't even try to hide, you know, as like a typical slasher would. He just kind of stands there in the open and freaks whoever he's stalking out. And you know it's pretty freaky. He just stands there and doesn't move until his target kind of moves, and then just goes from there. And I think the characters for the most part are well cast and well acted, and even the kids. Usually I think kids in this kind of story are some of the most annoying, but I really like the kids in the story. And something I thought that was interesting is that the way the characters were written, they were made to create this kind of, well, I wouldn't say it's subtle, but I would, at the same time, I wouldn't call it obvious, but this clear divide between how their family is doing, how they're well off, with living in a nice place, and the poor people living in Sung-soo's brother's apartment complex. And not just between the main family and poor people, but even homeless people. And Hide and Seek has a good amount of jump scares to keep you on the edge of your seat. If you're looking for not only something suspenseful but also scary, this movie is great. As far as the negatives are concerned, there are a few. I wish they could have done more with Sung-soo's character, in the sense that they introduce him to be this kind of germaphobe, and they don't really do anything with his germophobia, if you will. It's not a central part of the story, but rather it's used as a way to make his character and also the audience anxious and more fearful of different situations, and just to create more tension in the atmosphere. And I wish that they would have followed through with it and made it a central part to the story or even some of the events. But the biggest disappointment I had with Hide and Seek is the relationship between Sung-soo and his brother. I wish that they could have developed the relationship a lot better. They had a lot of build up to it. It was a really interesting backstory, but the way everything played out and the way everything resolved itself, it was very disappointing. But overall, what did I think of Hide and Seek? I absolutely loved it. It has the makings of a great thriller. Everything from the suspense, the mystery, the scares and even the fake out scares, everything was well put together. And even to top it all off, we have this crazy villain that you kind of see what they're trying to do, where they're coming from, but they're just crazy. You just want to kill them with fire. And the majority of the reveals to all the mysteries, I thought were great and well executed. And I think the big payoff, it connected a lot to the kind of introduction to the story, something you get in the first 20 minutes. They kind of introduced this idea that there are people who might be living in your house and you don't even know it. And the way the story progressed and resolved, it was consistent to that theme all the way to the end. And in the end, it kind of made you scared of homeless people or poor homeless people. I mean, it's really sad to say that, but I don't know. That's something I'm kind of in mixed territory about. Is this movie kind of instills this fear of homeless people to you? But despite all that, there's a lot of fun to be had with hide and seek. And so yeah, those are my thoughts on hide and seek. What did you guys think, or what kind of questions did you guys have? Let me know in the comment section below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and by all means, please support Asian Films on Patreon. It really helps the channel a lot. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you all again in the next video. Take it easy.